All right, good morning, guys. Good morning. It is May 9th, and as usual, I am out here having my morning tea. And today, spent a good bit of time checking out some charts and reading. And I want to inform you that inflation is dead. And this is amazing news for us as crypto investors. Because, as you know, when inflation was around, the central banks were tightening the money supply to try and kill inflation. And that's really bad for risk-on assets like cryptocurrencies. However, they have succeeded. They really have succeeded by increasing rates as much as they did and taking the liquidity out of the system, out of the economy as much as they did. They really have, in fact, killed inflation. And I'm going to talk about three charts that economists normally pay attention to as far as inflation goes. So the first is a consumer price index. And according to the charts that I'm looking at, the consumer price index has dropped from its high, and it's dropped by about 100 basis points, which is about 1%. And it did that in March. And this is what they were expecting. And they're saying at the rate that it's dropping right now, by June, we should be at the 2% inflation mark, which is what the Fed, if you go back and listen to Jerome Powell, that's the number that he wanted to get the inflation rate at. So by June, which is next month, I mean, we're in May right now, we're going to be right at this 2% mark. If things hold the way they are right now. That is an extremely, extremely good sign for us, because that's going to give the Fed an additional victory so that they can be like, okay, hey, we did our job. Now it's time to kind of grow the economy again. And growing the economy basically means putting liquidity back into the system and starting to lower interest rates and quantitative easing, putting money back into the system. And that's what we want to see as crypto investors. So that's number one. There's another index that they pay attention to, which is called the producer price index. And that dropped by an even bigger 2.2%, so 220 basis points. That happened in March as well. Now, with that producer price index, with that much of a drop of 2.2%, it's basically back down to the level it was before the pandemic. That's huge news. Okay, so consumer price index, just for people who don't know, consumer price index is gauging how much it costs for us to go and buy things. Producer price index is gauging how much it costs for these manufacturers to go and buy supplies and all that kind of stuff to produce what they produce. So it goes to, I mean, in a perfect world, theoretically, if it costs less for the manufacturers to produce the goods, they inevitably, because of economics and supply and demand and all that kind of stuff, market forces, they will reduce their prices based on it's costing them less to make stuff. And, you know, I know some people think, oh, hell no, they'll just keep the prices really high because they want to make a huge profit margin. It just doesn't work like that, because as you guys know, and as we all know from being around, you know, living life, some type of competition will come through and be able to make that product for cheaper. As such, if you're the manufacturer, you don't want to lose market share to competition, so you are going to adjust your prices down so you can compete. And this is why capitalism is beautiful. This is why you should allow the open markets, because ultimately the open markets and capitalism is what allows us as consumers to get the best products at the cheapest price. It just so happened over the last 10, 20, 30 years, I don't know how long, 20 years, China was making the best products at the cheapest price, which is why you, me, and everyone we know, and everyone, our mothers, go and buy all these Chinese things from Walmart and everywhere we go. It's because they were making the best product at the cheapest price. That's ultimately what we're looking for. If their products were complete shit and they never worked, we wouldn't buy them, and then we would buy American. But American just couldn't make the same quality products at the same price. Anyway, that's a different thing. And then last but not least, there is one more index that economists also look at, which is the import price inflation. And holy shit, that one fell by 350 basis points in March. So it fell by 3.5%. That is a crazy number. So basically, this article goes on to say that the import price inflation is actually negative right now. So this is good. This is a good thing. So this means things like what we import from China and all these other countries from different places should start to become cheaper. This is what we wanted to see. This is what the Federal Reserve wanted to see. This is what the central banks wanted to see. And as such, these are good signs for the economy starting to bottom out. This is proof that the economy is bottoming out. We might not think it right now. And, we don't have to wait for someone to come on TV and say the economy's bottomed out. This is proof. This is what the people who come on TV and tell us, oh, the economy's bottomed out, this is what they base it on. They just might not come out and say it right now because, they'll come out and say it at some point in time. Basically, whoever the presidential candidates are, you'll watch them. They'll start to say, oh, the economy has finally bottomed out and we're now on a recovery schedule. And then they'll use this in their spiel to try and get reelected. And it actually makes sense. Right before 2024 elections, we're going to see the economy start to, I think, really boom. The news is going to change. I think it's going to change from negative news to real positive news, regardless of Democrats or Republicans, whoever. Listen, more people above Democrats and Republicans own the media and own everything. And they're just going to kind of say whatever they want to now. And they're going to spin it so that whoever is running, whatever. It doesn't matter if it's Democrat or Republican. The people who are really controlling shit are way above those guys. They're like the World Economic Forum people and all that kind of stuff. But anyway, that's my conspiracy theories. I love it. But anyway, I just wanted to share that with you guys because 3 indexes have proved inflation is dead. And according to what I'm reading now, they are saying the time now is pretty much ripe for buying the dips in your favorite, investments, cryptocurrencies, if that's what you want to invest in. And that's what I'm going to be paying attention. Obviously, this is not financial advice, but you can go and check out yourself the charts for consumer price index, producer price index, and inflation price index. And as long as you see them going down, that's a good thing. All right? That means inflation is dead. Tell me what you think. Let me know what you think about inflation. Have you noticed anything? Please share with me. Let's discuss this and see if we can help each other. And I apologize, my dog is going a little nuts over there. All right, see you guys.